During the trial, the man pulled out his phone. Making this call to deliver false testimony would preserve his undefeated record as a lawyer, but his professional ethics made him hesitate. After an intense internal struggle, he finally closed his phone.
I have no further evidence at this time, Your Honor.
The courtroom fell into dead silence, and the judge had no choice but to declare the defendant not guilty. Hannibal was released on the spot, and before leaving, he couldn't resist mocking Jack one more time. The title of undefeated champion no longer belonged to him. Watching Hannibal's retreating figure, Nick couldn't forgive himself. Suddenly, a gunshot rang out. When Jack rushed over, he found Nick had taken his own life. The scandal's exposure had cost him his family, and under tremendous public pressure, he had failed to bring the killer to justice. Just then, Hannibal emerged from the courthouse, and seeing the smile on his face, Jack was filled with regret. If he had followed Nick's plan and submitted false evidence, the outcome might have been different. Hannibal was escorted home by police, but his plan wasn't over yet. The only remaining threat was his wife. He went to the hospital to find the doctor and signed a document withdrawing life support. Once the doctor removed the tubes, no one would ever know his secret. Jack wanted to intervene but was powerless to do so. As her husband, Hannibal had the legal right to make this decision. Jack appealed to a judge and obtained a restraining order, trying to buy himself and the woman one more chance. However, the medical team had already begun the final procedures. After the ultimate confirmation, they removed all the tubes. When Jack arrived at the hospital, it was already too late. Seeing the flatline on the monitor, Jack completely broke down. The killer was right there in front of him, yet he was powerless to act. For the first time, he felt the despair of utter helplessness. Jack resigned from his position as a lawyer and became withdrawn and negative, showing no interest even when his boss offered him opportunities. He questioned what the point of studying law had been and locked himself in his room for extended periods, still unable to find any leads. One day, while reviewing files at the police station, their identical phones were accidentally switched. This inadvertent action suddenly made him realize that this might be the key to how the gun had disappeared. The phone call had actually come from Hannibal. Learning that Hannibal was planning to leave the country, Jack entered the villa with a gun. Faced with Hannibal's composure, he shared his theory. It turned out that the gun found by police was identical to Nick's, and Hannibal had known about his wife's affair all along. He had secretly infiltrated the hotel and switched Nick's weapon. In other words, the gun that killed his wife was actually Nick's. This explained why Hannibal had specifically requested Nick to come in alone for negotiations. He knew that Nick would break down the moment he saw the woman, and Hannibal used that opportunity to switch the guns back. He then deliberately created the illusion of attempting an ambush, causing Nick to wrestle the weapon away from him. The real evidence had been carried away from the scene by Nick himself. After Jack presented his deduction, Hannibal remained remarkably calm and even acknowledged Jack's assessment. But now it was too late to matter, because the court operates under double jeopardy protection. Even if he admitted to everything, he couldn't be tried again legally. Jack admitted that he indeed couldn't prosecute for attempted murder again, but because Hannibal had abandoned his wife's medical care, leading to her death, he wouldn't be charging him with attempted murder anymore. Instead, he would reopen the case as a murder prosecution. Moreover, the evidence that police couldn't obtain initially was now extracted from the victim's head after her death. Hannibal was brought back to court, and this time, no matter how many lawyers he hired, he couldn't escape the judgment of the law.